T Smalls, what it do?
What's going on, Mr. Weatherman? How you doing, sir?
I am the Weatherman. Welcome to the Let's Talk Under the Tree podcast. We have Miss Sophia Stewart, the Matrix, the Terminator, and all those things all around the world live in the building. T Smalls, show us some love.
Man, we talking under the tree.
T Smalls, sing her a little special selection for everybody.
Man, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We got Sophia Stewart in the building, or should I say on our live today. How y'all doing?
We have Chris too. Also, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you. I am the Weatherman once again. T Smalls in the house. One time for your mind, Smalls. What else they got to say about that?
2 times for your soul.
See you in 33 seconds, Miss Sophia Stewart in the house.
Kingpin Music.
Miss Sophia Stewart, me and T Smalls read your bio. You are very accomplished in your own right. So where could we start? I mean, I don't know where to start. Actually, Smalls, she's seemed like she didn't, have done it all here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're going to give you the floor tonight. We're going to do something a little different, Miss Stewart. Where do you want to start? Because we know what happened to you with the film, and we're going to let you start. This thing from the beginning and the tragedy that happened to you, because I don't really like that at all. Smalls have his, concerns about that also. Go ahead, Miss Stewart. I'm not sure if she can hear us. Chris, you there? I can't.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. I can't hear her for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Smalls, you there, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear.
Right. I see Skip in the house. How you doing, Skip? I'm not sure what's going on with Miss Sophia. Testing 1, 2, 3. We can hear Chris. We can't hear you. We can't hear her at all. Not exactly sure what's going on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Smalls, you there, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear everything.
Yeah, I can hear everything.
I'm good on my end.
Right.
I think she's trying to talk, but I don't think her voice came in.
Yeah, we can't hear her. She's going to go out and come back in. But she's very accomplished.
Yeah, definitely is, man. I've been reading about her, man, and very interesting story, man. For everybody who don't know, we sure gonna get an education.
Yes, we can
hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was trying to tell you that something you guys had done wrong because the picture was upside down or turned the wrong way, the camera. And I was steadily trying to talk to you guys, and wow. Anyway, let's get this show on the road because everything I had to leave out and come back on.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to, I could hear you guys, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Yes.
So everything is fine.
Okay, good.
Where do you want to start? I will start at the beginning.
Yes.
I've been victorious. It has not on it's in mainstream news at the archives. When you go to the archives, everybody knows the story. When you go to the internet, it's like my fiance. Everybody goes to the internet and they think the internet is news, but the internet is not news. I won 7 years ago, September the 25th, 2014.
Wow. That's a long time.
Wow.
And the
I think she's freezing. Smalls, you there, right?
Yeah, I can. I'm here.
Just doing the sound check. Must be where she's. I don't know. It's the signal where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell when it starts circling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see here. I think she's trying to. There you go.
I'm right here. Can you hear me? It's glitching.
Yes, yes. We're crystal clear
Yeah,
on
it's
our
glitching
end.
on its own. Yeah, but I'm clear on this end too. Can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
see me at all?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you right
Okay,
now.
can you hear me? Okay. It was glitching a minute ago,
Okay.
but it wasn't me
Okay.
because I have an Apple iPhone and it's super.
Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying to people, I won 7 years ago, September the 25th, 2014. So everybody goes on the internet, it's going to get a bunch of garbage. The internet is not real news. You have to go, people, to the archives to get real news. No exception to the rule. Okay? So when you see these NFTs that Warner Brothers are releasing and you see this movie that they're trying to release, I can take that movie by copyrights and take the money, just like when you saw in the case with Little Nas and Nike. Y'all remember the Nike case with
Yes,
Little
yes.
Right.
Nas?
Yes.
Mhm.
Where Little Nas was counterfeiting Nike, and he did it intentionally because everybody knows that Nike, who is owned by Nike, and Nike's been around as a brand, and so therefore Little Nas has no business counterfeiting any kind of shoes and selling them. Okay, now there's two cases that should happen here. The first case is for damages, which I won already. The second case, when you counterfeit, is criminal, it's RICO. So when Nike gets through with Little Nas and the company Mischief and their executives, then the government is going to come in and charge them with RICO for counterfeiting. It's the same thing that you see over in China when they have these American companies and they're creating Gucci. Some of the companies knock off Gucci, knock off Louis Vuittons, and sell them over here in America as counterfeits.
Wow.
So the new movie coming out is a counterfeit. It's a rehash of the 1999 first Matrix movie that I won 4 Oscars on. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
It's a rehash, a reboot. So you know these people did not write or create the Matrix, and they didn't create the Terminator either. Because you can look at what's coming out that they're calling resurrection or resuscitation. Resurrecting and resuscitating something is something that's dead. You try to resurrect or bring back to life something that's dead. This story has been done 22 years ago, back in 1999. It's been done, well, actually 18 years ago. The last one was 2003.
Mm-hmm.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So come on. This is not the real Matrix and not the real fourth installment. The fourth installment is called The Matrix Evolution. And the book has been out it's been out 11 years, almost 12 years, selling globally around the world. So if you want the real continuation of The Matrix, which comes right after The Matrix 1, and 2 and 3 is a dream. They're dreams that Neo and Trinity are sharing together, and they wake up from the dream. Now, if you look at the trailer on this Matrix that they're claiming, it doesn't have the real logo with the greenish tint. It has a recipe. It's not the binary codes of the machines, the 1 and the 0. Neo is looking like John Wick because it's trying to rebrand John Wick franchise into the Matrix. They've already moved the woman in red over there. They've already moved Morpheus over there as a character. And then they even have Sophia. Halle Berry is playing Sophia.
Hmm.
Okay?
Wow.
And you see John Wick put on his Matrix stuff. Now, you go and look at the trailer. He has on the John Wick image. He has nothing Matrix on. And Trinity has no look. And Jada Pickett looks just like a completely different person. Instead of her role as Niobe, she looks like somebody else. And there is no psychiatrist in the Matrix. Neo goes sees the Oracle. The red and blue pill was resolved 22 years ago. There are no Morpheus son because Morpheus never got married, never had any children. You see what I'm talking about?
Right.
So I don't even understand how people are confused when all you have to do is go back and look at the first Matrix, and you say, "Wait a minute, this is just a rehash, a reboot of the same thing." And you know, David Mitchell of Cloud Atlas, they wrote the book Cloud Atlas and did the movie Cloud Atlas with the Wachowski brothers, didn't write The Matrix. So why is his name on The Matrix? And another person's name is on The Matrix. And it's three people, Lena Wachowski, David Mitchell, and some other woman's name on The Matrix. If you wrote The Matrix and you created the characters and the graphics and the special effects and the logos, you wouldn't even need anyone to help you to write. And you definitely wouldn't put David Mitchell, who wrote Cloud Atlas, the book in the movie, you wouldn't put his name on The Matrix. Are you kidding me? So wait a minute, how can people be fooled by this? I have no understanding.
Wow.
It's ludicrous.
You have a question from one of your fans.
Yes, please.
In regards to why Lawrence Fishburne is not in The Matrix, the one that's coming up.
Well, The Matrix, if you go back and look at The Matrix, the agents are the bad guys. And it is the first Black science fiction with Black leadership role. Because white science fiction is Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Rocky saving the world. And it has no Black leadership. Now it has some black crooks in it, like when they brought Samuel Jackson or Billy D. Williams and whoever else is as exceptions. They were not leadership roles. But if you look at Morpheus and the Oracle, and you look at Jada Pickett's role and Marcus Chung as Tank, and you look at Anthony Parker, and you look at Cornel West and Tyler Perry, Roy Jones. I mean, come on. How can you say The Matrix is not Black in Black leadership roles? And the white guys, the agents, are the bad guys. In white science fiction, the white man is saving the world. He is not the bad guy.
That's true.
That is Star Wars. Look at Star Wars. When they put a Black guy, a young Black teenager or a young adult in the Star Wars series, everyone was exceptionally mad because they had never had any Black leadership role in Star Wars.
All of a sudden, yep.
Yeah, do you guys remember the controversy on that? Come on.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Now, 3/4 of the Earth are people of color. Now, the Matrix come out. This is the first time they are seeing themselves as superheroes. They wrote about me in the Los Angeles Sentinel in 1981. Sophia Stewart is going to come out with this first Black science fiction, first of its kind, dedicated to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, the Neo character. Neo is an anagram for the word the one, Neoone. And who was a Black superhero at the time? Muhammad Ali. While I was at USC, got a degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology, was engaged to marry him, was with him from 1980 to 1983. And it's going to blow your mind. I just met his son, Muhammad Ali Jr., last night over the phone. And it was, oh man, it was almost like stepping back in time. Hearing his voice sounds so much like his father. It was amazing. Totally amazing experience for me.
You dated Muhammad Ali, right?
Yeah, I was engaged to marry him, and he inspired, besides God, he inspired The Matrix. This is why they wanted Will to play the role. Because remember, Will played Muhammad Ali in the Ali story
He sure did.
with
Yep.
Spike Lee. And so when
Mhm.
they came to Will Smith, and you go on YouTube and Will is explaining it, because his wife Jada got to be in the Matrix, and he has really, he has bad feelings that he never got to go into the Matrix. But they couldn't explain the Matrix to him. They came to him, and he'll tell you they sounded like a bunch of idiots and crazy because it's futuristic work. It's 100 years ahead. And so Will thought they were a bunch of nuts. So Will took the Wild Wild West series and did Jim West, and Jim West's fans got all mad about it, and so the movie kind of sucked with Will. But it had I come to Will and told Will what the Matrix was about, then Will would have been the one instead of Keanu Reeves. But Keanu Reeves is a man of color. His father is Asian Polynesian,
Mhm.
and his mother is an English woman. But you are what your father is. So he was meant to play Neo. Carrie Ann, she's Canadian. Carrie Ann Moss. She's from Canada. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. And
didn't know that.
so, yeah. Yeah, if you look at the pictures, which I'll send you the pictures that Matrix is black, you will see only maybe a few people in the ship and around them that are white. Cypher, Mouse, Switch. They were the only three exceptions of whites. The rest of them are black leadership roles
Mm.
and
Man,
characters. Yes, and characters.
go ahead, Smalls.
Well,
What were
what
you
I
going
was
to
gonna
say?
say, what I was gonna say is, man, Miss Sophia, 1981.
Well, it's no Miss Sophia. You can call me Sophia Stewart. Throw that Miss
I'm
out
just
the
being
door.
respectful.
No,
Just being-
Miss is not respectful because I'm a divorcee, and it would be Ms. 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 would be
Okay.
the correct title. But
All
Miss
right.
is for a single woman who has never had any children or never been married. That's Oprah. You would call her Miss Oprah. No,
I,
you really would, because she's
I
never
got
been
you.
married, no children. But it's disrespecting my marriage that I was in my kids by calling me a single woman when it's not, necessary. When you can just call me Sophia Stewart
All
or
right, I got you.
Sophia.
Correct.
Yes,
I got it.
Sophia,
yes.
or Mrs. Stewart.
No. Divorce. Throw that out the window and say
Okay,
Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah,
All
Sophia is
this,
great. Thank you.
all this started in 1981. It's amazing because 1981 all the way you fast forward to 1999 when the film was first came out. It's amazing that your mind was even thinking that way at the time, man. That's a brilliant mind right there. I was amazed when I heard that story. Your first book, I think it was The Third Eye,
Yeah,
and
it's called the Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book.
mhm. Yeah, man,
Yes.
and it's just giving me chills. Like, oh man, you was thinking about all this back in the 80s before it even came around, and here it goes. It's kind of like everything that you was talking about is in present day right now.
Oh, and even more, because when you get the fourth installment of the book, I was talking about the metaverse before Zuckerberg and them read my book. Like I told you, my book has been out for almost 12 years. It's been out since 2010. That's 11 years. And I'm talking about the virtual reality world of the Matrix world. And I'm talking about in the Matrix attraction where you can insert characters and become any character you want in the Matrix world. That was the one page treatment that went out to all of these people who was interested in getting this work. The Oracle Theater, where you would be gaming with people around the world, and you have a subscription, and maybe the Oracle Studio would hold 300 or more people. But then the subscriptions of people globally, where everybody is playing this game and they have visors on and they insert their characters that they want to create. If they want to become the Oracle, if they want to be Neo or Morpheus, they can insert themselves in this metaverse world, which is a virtual reality world. Now, if you go back and listen to my interviews, I've been interviewing nonstop since 2001. I went viral in 2003 when ABC interviewed me twice, and I went around the globe. So Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, none of them came up with the metaverse. You can pull up my book, The Matrix Evolution. The first is the Matrix. The second is the Rebellion or Reloaded. The third is Revolution. The fourth is Evolution, not resuscitation or resurrection. Come on, people.
Right.
The continuation, I'm talking about a virtual penal system. I'm talking about a virtual skateboard, a virtual reality, virtual companies, virtual digital coins, NFTs. I'm talking about that way before any of these people just start talking. It took them years just to even figure out what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
It took them almost 12 years in the Terminator to do the special effects and graphics that I created. I'm telling you guys the truth. You think I'm lying? I will give you guys a copy of Matrix 4 Evolution so you can read it and see. But all my fans out there will validate that I've been talking about this for years.
It's true.
Almost
It's
12
true.
years. Are you kidding me? And
I'm
then
a fan.
Elon Musk comes out and talk about the metaverse, or Zuckerberg talking about he's going to take Facebook and make it the metaverse and these NFTs. And I've been talking to you guys about this for years. And let me kind of refresh some of the fans out there. Because when I start talking about the virtual penal system, I said in the future, when the plague comes, they will no longer be able to house and take care of the prisoners. Like they have insurance on them. They feed them, they clothe them. They give lots of exception stuff. I said all of that was going to go away. And they were going to create this virtual penal system where they would have white laser rings around the body and around the hands. In the future, you will become your own judge, jury, and executioner if you can't control and behave yourself. And that the drones would get bigger in the future. Wow. I told people the drones would get big in the future. When you commit a crime, you would have these laser rings around you. And once you snatch a purse, it would activate the ring, and the ring would just cut your hand off and heal you at the same time. And you try to run from Homeland Security or SWAT teams, they activate the rings and they would cut your leg or cut your feet off. And if you killed somebody, it would activate the ring, and the ring would just cut your head off, capital punishment. But you would become your own judge, jury, and executioner yourself if you could not control and behave yourself. And I said it all begins when the satellites come into play, they're able to come and track you. They can track you via satellite, and they can zoom in on you and actually videotape you committing a crime. And they will send a drone transporter, which is now the drones are bigger in the future. They started out exceptionally little. They started out doing a lot of stuff. And then all of a sudden they became larger. So you are committing a crime. You got a low jack in your head because when they wheeled you in, they installed a low jack in the delicate part of your brain. So that way you would not be able to get it out. No one, because now you can cut a low jack out of your body. You can throw your burner phone out of the window. But in the future, they made sure that you were low jacked. If you committed crimes, they had special surgeons to install a microchip the size of a pinhead in the delicate part of your brain. So if anybody went in there, it would cause brain damage to try to remove that chip or that low jack. And this way they could track you via satellite and actually videotape you committing a crime. And then no matter if you were in Moscow or Russia, if you were over in the islands or Cuba, it wouldn't matter, France, Spain. They would send a drone transporter. The satellites would zoom in on you. videotape you, see all the things that you're doing, and send this drone transporter, which is bigger. It'll come like a giant claw, grab you, suck you in, and will sedate you, because in the future, people are very exceptional with hacking, with computers, because the millennials, they grew up on the computers. They have grown up on computers, and as we grow more into the future, these children are going to be, like I said, indigo kids, star children, indigos. And you get to learn more about the indigos in the fourth installment, Matrix Evolution, because that's what I'm talking about, these indigo kids. And they're exceptional. They can sleep on their book and know everything in the entire book without opening it up and reading it.
I have a question. When you were going through your court case, did some of the judges and some of the lawyers looked at you? I'm gonna play a 3-second soundbite. Looked at you and gave you this look right here.
Who is you?
Well, I couldn't understand that look. It just didn't make any sense to me, because judges don't look at you at all. They either are listening to the evidence or presenting, where you present the evidence, or they're putting your butt in jail. They don't come in there to make innuendos or say anything derogatory towards you, because they could lose their jobs. They could be charged for discrimination or criminal acts, just like you or I. No, when you go into the courts, the court is a court of truth, and it's no exceptions to it. You can't play around. There's a magistrate judge on the bench, and there's a federal judge. The magistrate judge can put you in jail in a New York minute. As soon as it's discovered that you committed perjury, you committed a crime 10 or 15 years ago, she can put you in jail instantly, and you won't get out until she lets you out. Now, a federal judge, he heard you had committed a crime 15 years ago. He will tell you to plead the fifth. You don't have to talk about it. But when you get out of this hearing or whatever, go take care of that and get you a lawyer. Okay?
Wow. Okay, gotcha.
And that's very serious. You don't want to make a mockery of the federal or the state or the city courts ever, or any judges.
One thing I learned about you. Yeah, one thing I learned about you, me and T. Smalls, you're very passionate as far as your cause, what you're trying to do, especially in that courtroom and the fight. What kept you going and saying, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pressing forward?
Well, I didn't have to go. I had the truth. So I wasn't going in insane or doing anything. They were the ones going insane, because if you were a criminal and you committed a crime, you're always sweating. You can't even sleep. The Bible tells you that. A good man can sleep any time of the week or any day or any night. But a person who has committed a crime, or he's doing more crime, he's never at rest, and he can't sleep because he's going to get that knock at the door. So me carrying the truth with me, they were the ones that was on pins and needles, because they should be in jail right now, like the Untouchables had to take a minute to get John Gotti, Al Capone, Whitey Bulger, Bertie Madoff. Some of them, have already died in prison, and died as soon as they walked out of the prison, or come back in and got murdered. So we know what happens with the RICO Act, the Criminal Act. Every time you take some money, every time you counterfeit, it adds 10 years to the RICO Act. That means you might be going to jail at 150 or 100 years old if you get to live that 109, 106. Like Bertie Madoff, he had stole from the super rich and the rich. He stole millions and billions of dollars. Caught up with him, 20 or 30 years later. At 65, he got 150 years. Now he just died just recently, and people Google it. He just died recently in prison. So whoever said that crime doesn't pay is a lie. It catches up with you. I come from a military law enforcement family, so I take military and law enforcement serious.
Right.
No exception to the rules.
Hey, Smalls, we have 2 questions from her fans. I'm going to post the first question, and Put the other one up back to back. You ready, Smalls?
Okay.
What'd they say?
How much money did she win?
Second question. Hold on a minute. There's a two-part
Oh, I'll be
question.
glad to tell you that.
Go ahead, Smalls. What they say?
I read her case was dismissed because she didn't show up. I don't believe that.
Well, let me tell you something, fan. You've been reading the internet. Go to the archives, the library archives, and pull up the real news and get out of the internet. Anybody can lie to you on the internet. It was 3 court cases. Do y'all get it in your head? The first court case, I didn't lose. They didn't win. They got it dismissed because I had a criminal RICO case with the FBI that was going to send them to jail.
Right.
So they paid my own attorneys to sabotage that California case and get it shut down. But if you would look, I had a California case in 2005. Wake up, unplug from the matrix. I had a 2007 case in Utah that I won September the 25th, 2014. I'll tell you, I won almost $500,000 in attorney fees and $3.5 billion in liens. I own all of their companies and their properties. And if you want that information, go to my website, matrixterminator.com or truthaboutmatrix.com, and I will give you the documents to prove it to you. The third court case was in Nevada. I won that court case on a default judgment November the 5th, 2019. And they didn't shut that down. It was filed December the 11th, 2018, and I wrapped it, like I told you, November the 5th, 2019. They're hiding it under a fake case number with a judge name that wasn't even the judge when I filed on December the 11th, 2018, because they're embarrassed because I beat them. And in that case, I won $55 billion. And I put in Donald Trump's executive order saying that if you committed any criminal acts to get that $55 billion, the government can come in and seize it under restitution laws and pay me also out of it. So that is criminal money. And the Bundy judge, Gloria Navarro, she was the crooked judge, and Judge Fawley, 2 crooked judges on that case.
Whoa.
3 court cases, people. Wake up. Unplug out of the matrix. The internet is nothing but troll stuff. You can't file no lawsuit on the trolls. They have no money. And all they're telling you about over and over, the 2005 California case that got dismissed. Wake up. Unplug out of the matrix before it's too late, and you find yourself missing here.
T. Smalls, what they say, we have another one from one of her fans.
Sophia, would you consider sitting down with Morpheus and discussing the Matrix movie? I think that would be great for this podcast.
Well, guess what? If you Google right now, Sophia Stewart, and hit images, you'll see me with Morpheus.
I seen that.
You'll see pictures of me with Morpheus. So guess what? How many years too late are you? Oh yeah, you're 18 years too late because you've been on the internet. The internet got you stuck in time.
Right.
Unplug and go to the news. Go look at the Judge Joe Brown show. I was on there. Go to the Rolling Stone magazine, L3 magazine, saying I'm the creator. The Oscars 2020. I'm on the red carpet as the owner and creator by copyrights of The Matrix and Terminator. Please unplug, but please don't tell me about something in 2005. You're in the past. Jesus.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
You're also, correct me if I'm wrong, a script writer also?
I'm a screenwriter, author of several books on The Matrix and Terminator. All great films, majority of them, come from books. The Maze book, the Maze movie. Right. You know what I'm talking about? The Gravity book, the Gravity movie. Lords of the Ring, J.R.R. Tolkien's book and movie, Lords of the Ring. The Hobbit book by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book. The Third Eye and Matrix movies. Right. Matrix and Terminator. The Eye of God, because we have 2 eyes on Earth. The Matrix is the woman's womb, 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb. And of course, Terminator End Times, Revelations, where the prophecy begins. The Terminator is the prequels to the Matrix. Prequels meaning it's the beginning of the epic story, where the machines in the future have enslaved mankind, and they hear a child is going to be born that's going to destroy them when they complete this enslavement of man. So they know that Sarah Connor is the mother that's destined to be the mother's child. So they time travel. And what is the machine in the future? He's wrapped in flesh, killed but cannot be killed. A Terminator, looking like a human being. This is the first time in science fiction anyone had ever seen anything like it, because I was born in the digital age. H.G. Wells with the metal clinkety clink, metal robots, was born in the Iron Age. And Mary Shelley, coming from 1861, Frankenstein was a monster that she saw. Do you see what I'm talking about? Each period of history determined the artificial intelligence. Frankenstein, 1861. Metal robots that we are familiar with, H.G. Wells in the 40s. Sophia Stewart, Matrix and Terminator in the digital age in the 80s, while I'm at USC.
I like that.
Degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology, studied to be a lawyer and a doctor, a prodigy, not a genius, a prodigy.
Prodigy.
Talking about work that's 100 years ahead in the future. Wasn't shopping my work, was looking for the director, George Lucas. When I saw Star Wars, I come from New York City. I wanted him to direct my work. 20th Century Fox, the Andy and Larry Wachowski, a lot of the studios all got hold of the work and criminally counterfeited it. And they're due to go to jail. Ripley's, believe it or not. Oh, yes. Yes. It will catch up with them. And let me tell you what makes it even more viable is because every time they sell a Matrix or a Terminator product, it adds 10 years to the statutes, meaning that the statutes of limitations will never run out. Every time they put out, like they're trying to put out that movie, it's adding another 10 years if they put it out and make money off of it. Yeah, I don't care what product. If you put out a video game, it's adding 10 years. And everybody who's aiding and abetting say, well, Warner Brothers did it 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I'm just coming in at the bottom. You can be charged as aiding and abetting, and you can be tried as a principal by aiding and abetting.
Right. Chris Moore's on here. What would you like to add on, my friend?
No, I was just listening, but I just wanted to point out something that Sophia Stewart said. So I've been on her team, and part of what we do on her team is we vet a lot of systems, a lot of things. We do a lot of research, and one of the things that I think people kind of sidestep when she's saying "wake up" is really true. If you think about this case, and you think about Sophia has been doing national interviews. She's gone viral on so many occasions on national platforms. She's using the Terminator's image, Neo's image. She's using Morpheus' image. She's using all these copyrighted, licensed images that she owns. From having a YouTube channel, if you had a picture of Harry Potter on your wall, Warner Brothers would shut your channel down, and any revenue, that monetization that you may have gained from this interview, maybe if it hit a million or whatever, they would shut it down and send you a cease and desist and take every piece of revenue that you get. This is not just something that we're stating. This is actual fact.
That's correct.
Anyone that's watching your show right now can Google how savage Warner Brothers is. They won't allow anybody to use their images for 10 or 12 years, let alone 30 seconds. If you was playing music by Warner Brother on your channel, 30 seconds, a 30-second clip, they will manually look at and review your video and shut you down,
Right.
period. So when she's saying wake up, is really that simple. If you really look at the impossible nature for someone to stake claim on images and all the things that Sophia Stewart is doing and has done for this length of time, it would be virtually impossible because you couldn't do it from your show. Nobody that's watching this feed right now could do it. If they were streaming it on Stitch, Discord, Facebook Live, or wherever, if Warner Brothers saw an image of Harry Potter or any of their performers or anything that they own on your wall in the back in your house, you might have bought an image and have a poster of, I don't know, any of your favorite characters that they own that image of. They can literally shut your channel down, and you, in whatever funds that you made from that, they will take that from you. That's how powerful they are.
I think they know this, but you telling them and clarifying it just sounds so much better from you because they don't want to believe a woman. They don't want to believe me. They want to believe my success. There's a lot of haters out there. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if you go to the news archive, I'm validated by Armstrong Williams. I'm validated by Judge Joe Brown, Source, Vive, Black BET. All of these sources, they're not going to sit up there and say I'm the owner and creator because they get sued. ABC is not going to sit up there and say that. They get sued. Now, only thing these people are looking at and want to stay in is the internet. That's where they live. And the social network and the internet, but not in the court docs. They don't even understand court documents. It's just like you reading Chinese. They won't go to the archives, to the library, and go into the news archives. That's like being on an alien world or going into an alien world. But the internet, which is nothing but a communication platform, which is nothing but to use to make money off of. They're gossiping and trolling when they should be making money on the platform.
Yep.
That's what the platform is. It is a distribution to distribute it and make money.
Yes. You have a question from one of your fans that just came in. Do she predicts an event?
Can I predict any events?
Yes.
I made predictions already. I have ebooks and physical books. Get the Matrix for a book. Go to my website, truthaboutmatrix.com. Get the book and look at the prophecies that are coming true that I've already made in the book, in the Matrix movies. Are you kidding me?
Right.
The problem with people out there and what they have said, you don't read. How can it be books on the Matrix and Terminator and you've seen the movies, which are secondary? The books are primary first. And me, the source work, and not know where this work comes from. Once you read the books, you're like, oh my God, this is where it comes from. Well, people who are very astute know that if it's a movie out, it's bound to be a book. And so they're going to go get that book and read it to see how much is in that movie. They know that in a movie it's only 1 hour and 36 minutes, no more than 10 hours or 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that's just a fraction out of a book. Most astute people, let me go get the book and let me see more. Let me understand the film from the author's perspective, because the movie is just a film. They didn't write anything. They just filmed the source work. But the books are always the exception to the rule because you're going to know more.
Right.
So if you see a book, you want to go to the movies. If you read the book, you want to go see the movie. If you see the movie, you want to read the book.
Right. You just received the compliment about the remark I made about you predicting an event, and they said you act like one, and you seem
act like one what?
A person that can predict an event.
Oh yeah, I'm the oracle. The oracle in the Matrix is me. I put myself in my work. So did Stan Lee. So did Stephen King and Spike Lee. We saw Alfred Hitchcock do it, and that's where we got it from. Alfred Hitchcock put himself in his work, and I thought it was exceptional to put yourself in the work. So yes, I'm the oracle.
Yes.
And that's what the oracle does, is prophesize.
I call it
my bloodline is that too. Cherokee, my grandmother, she was a shaman, a seer, a healer, and then Portuguese on both sides, my mother and father's sides, Portuguese and Cherokee native. My totem is the cats.
Wow.
Jaguar, the jaguar paw.
We have about 13 minutes left. T Smalls, what you got, man? In closing.
I just want to say that it's a pleasure, man, learning a lot from you know, your books. Actually getting a chance to speak with you.
My books and my movies, because those movies are mine. Yes, they're derivatives.
I had, and I'm gonna be honest, I had found out about you today, and I'm gonna be honest, because I looked at The Matrix, maybe the first or second movie, but just like you said, with every movie has a book. And I have never heard that it was a book before the movie. The movie just sort of kind of popped on the scene before anybody really heard about the book. You know what I'm saying? And talking to you tonight, I'm going to dig deeper on that. And I became a fan of yours tonight, learning all these things in the past 12 hours that you just explained to everybody. And it's a pleasure to learn a lot from you tonight.
Oh, thank you, because I've written several books on Matrix and Terminator. I just understand people. The book comes before the movie.
Right.
You can see the book, the copyrights to the books are 1981, 83, and 84. Terminator didn't come out to October the 26th, 1984. Even my last copyright came before that movie. February the 6th, 1984. October the 26th, 1984 for the movie. Matrix, March the 31st, 1999. Come on, people, wake up. Wake up.
What I have in closing, the first time I spoke to you, I didn't hear about you until, you know, we did a little further discussion. I said, you know what? I think I told you this on the telephone. We had a few conversations. I said, I'm kind of drawn to you for some reason, and I don't know why.
Well, you're drawn to the truth. That's
Right.
why. Because I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm not afraid to speak the truth. And people need to see the truth with their own eyes. I'm not trying to tell them or lead them someplace or trying to dictate them like Kanye West. I'm not trying to make atheists into believers. You really need to dig for the truth. You don't even have to listen to me. Go out and get the books. Go out and look at the movies. After you read the book, then you say, oh my God, this is where they adapted it from her book. And go look at all the other ones. John Grisham, The Firm. John Grisham's book, The Pelican Brief, in the movie. John Grisham Firm book in the movie. You know, all these exceptional. Now, it's kind of weird. You can hear about these white writers and authors and screenwriters and authors. But, I mean, me being a Black woman, you don't hear about me, but hear about my work. It's just like, you know, Tesla. Tesla's Black. Tesla's Black. Lincoln is Black. They just got white skin. I'm sorry about that, but there's a lot of Black people with white skin.
Lincoln has a little tan to me. I don't know about you, Small.
Yeah, well, when you go to the Library of Congress and see his real picture, when you go, you're absolutely 100%. When you go to the Library of Congress and see his picture, his real picture, you will see that, including Tesla. Now, what they do on the internet is use the movie pictures of actors. And because Alexander Dumas, the Man in the Iron Mask, the Three Musketeers, he is Black. Sorry, people, but a lot of people that you think are white people, Eisenhower was Black, Jefferson, Jackson,
Babe Ruth,
Hardin, Coolidge. I don't understand people. I mean, there are people, like I said, Black people with white skin. There are white people with darker skin, the same color as my skin, and they got white DNA.
Right.
No joke. I am really serious. Nope. And there's a lot of white skinned people that have been passing for white. They have sterilized themselves, genocided themselves, because the Black kids are going to come out of them. And the whites that have the darkest skin, white kids are going to come out of them. It is the bloodline that determines what you are, not the skin. Throw the skin out of the window because it's just a cover.
Right.
It doesn't have a voice. It can't speak. It doesn't have a mind or a brain.
Chris Moore, what do you have in closing, my brother?
I was just thinking about the move. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Chris.
Oh no, this like thank you again, and you know, it's refreshing to with Sophia having a platform because she's able to reach a new conscious level of people that are out there that kind of understand on a different level than people from before. They're able to see that these large corporations are defeatable, and you can take back your creativity and you can win. And I think that's really important for listeners or people out there to know that, you know, if you do it, you can win and you can defeat these mega corporations with billions of dollars with the truth.
Exactly. And I'm an example of that truth. I give praises to God that if Sophia Stewart, David and Goliath story is real, because if Sophia Stewart can do it, I can do it. I can. You see the word I can in America. I can.
That is correct. I just like talking to you because you know you're an inspiration in a short amount of time. I say, man, hope hope I'm not getting on your nerves or nothing like that.
Oh,
Man.
no, never that. The more questions you ask, the better it is. I'm an educator and I like to educate and I do correct, and people need to know if you're not going to deal in truth, I'm going to have to correct you because my stance is with God. And there's a lot of people who, they won't take that stand. They're scared, but I'm not afraid.
Right.
I'm
And
going to defend God in truth.
I want to give you a round of applause because you put the work in and you deserve it.
Oh, thank you.
You deserve it all.
I take that with great humility.
You put the work in.
Yeah.
It can't be taken away. That's a guarantee right there. I've seen that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to let them take it away. Never. I'm going to always stand for God and truth.
When I first heard about you, I pulled it up and it was right there, black and white.
Yeah, even on the internet, it tells you when you Google it that I'm the copyright holder and owner of Matrix and Terminator.
Sure
Yet
do.
people will go and look for the false and the ignorance and the lies before they go and hunt down the truth. I'm kind of disappointed with people because if you're going to go out there, dig for the truth, right, and don't stop until you find it.
I want to give you your flowers while you're living. For me, this interview is history for me, talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
I must say, me and T. Smalls have done several interviews, celebrities all over the United States. But this one here was more personal for some reason. I don't know why. But this has a more personal touch to it.
It does. It does, man. And
yeah.
Like she was talking about the color of your skin, and it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, it's about your bloodline or whatever. And that took me back to the movie of The Imitation of Life. And that right there, very, very true. Very true.
Right.
Yeah, and most people don't remember that movie. It's a old black and white movie, and they got some color versions, but they need to see the first old black in 1935 or so. But that is a very important movie to see, The Imitation of Life, and see how life imitates art and art imitates life.
Right.
But to see how many people, if you go to the magazine Sepia 1967, you'll see how many people are trying to pass for white to get white privilege. They will go against their own selves in truth just for white privilege. And then they come across the borders. That's what it is. It's an offer from every country, white privilege.
Right. In a private conversation, me and you had previously, we have some work to do, and I appreciate you. My co-host T. Smalls appreciate you. Chris Moore, we appreciate you. Skip, we appreciate you. Everybody, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
T. Small, say a little prayer. Hold on one second. T. Small, say a little prayer for Miss Stewart, if you don't mind.
Thank you, God, for allowing Sophia Stewart to join us tonight and give us some of her knowledge and the truth behind everything that we talked about tonight. May everything that she said bless her and take her way into the future that she is right now. Continue to bless her. Continue to move mountains out of her way that she can always climb. In your name, I pray. We pray. Amen.
Amen. I am the weatherman. Chris Moore in the house. T Smalls in the house.
Thank you
Sophia
so
Stewart
much.
in the house, and you keep rocking, sister. T Smalls. One time for your mind. What's the rest? Spin it.
2 times for your soul.
Yes, and please.
The weatherman out. T Smalls out. Seymour out. In the South, we
All
say
right.
Seymour. Sophia Stewart out. We will holler at y'all later. Peace.
Kingpin Music.